Hello, everyone, and welcome to Video Games and Coffee. I'm your host, Daniel.
And I'm Travis.
That's right, Travis. The man is back. I think it was my last recording. It's been a while since I got to record, and I think the last recording was with you, right? I didn't do another one between then and now.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
Yeah, the holidays have been busy. Work's been busy. Family's been busy. So we finally got together after many postponing of recording sessions and attempts, yes. And then even today, Travis sends me a text message saying, "Hey, you still good for tonight?" And I was, I'm usually prepared. I always talk about how I have my show notes and I write and I do this and that. I had absolutely given no thought whatsoever on what we were going to talk about today at all. But then I came up with something right away, because last time we talked, we did first impressions on Dying Light 2. So I thought it would be a good idea to do first impressions just kind of in general on games that we put the money down for it, we bought it, we tried it, and we either just couldn't fall in love with it right away or at all. And we never went back to it. So I have a few to talk about. And you know why I didn't give this episode much thought, dude? It was because I was putting every brain cell I had into that movie, that Christopher Nolan movie, Tenet. I'm watching that, and I did read that it's like one of the most complicated movies of all time to follow, and it's, I think, his most complicated one. And holy shit, Memento was like bonkers crazy.
Yeah.
But the visual effects are good. The movie is obviously very well done. I'm 20 minutes into it. I have no idea what the fuck is going on yet. Yeah, it'll take a lot of Googling after that one. So yeah, that's what I was concentrating on when you text me saying if I'm ready to record tonight. So my brain power spent on that. But I did come up with the idea of talking about some first impressions on games that, like I said, we didn't fall in love with right away, and we never went back to it, or it took a while for us to get into it. So we'll just get right to it. Travis, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Oh, so as we're talking, there's one game for me that I bought that I was really hyped about.
Mm-hmm.
I think I played it. I'm looking at Steam right now. I think I played it. I played it for 2.5 hours.
Isn't it disappointing when the hype is big and it sucks?
Man.
Yeah.
And it was a Star Wars game too. So for me,
of
that was
course.
like, well, and it was funny because it was a Star Wars Squadrons. And dude, I remember getting motion sickness playing the game because it's a fighter pilot game. So you're flying spaceships around. And I remember playing the game. I was like, I can't play it. I'm getting motion sickness. But I couldn't get into the game enough. And I'm like, I'm gonna hop onto something else. So that was my most recent one that I can remember picking up. So
it does not surprise me that it was a Star Wars game, but it also surprises me that it was a Star Wars game because of how much you love Star Wars. But the fact that you started talking about Star Wars right away is not surprising. And okay, so actually right before we started recording, I did say that you said something, I think you were humming something or whatever. And I had said, "Oh, I have to tell you something that reminded me of you," and it got me really mad.
Oh no.
I think I read somewhere that the guy who composed the music to The Batman, the Robert Pattinson one, his theme whenever he comes on camera, it's the piano like dun 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 dun.
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I read that his inspiration for that was the goddamn Vader thing.
Absolutely, it's got to be. Yep.
What's it called? The March or something?
The Imperial March.
The Imperial March, and that just made me. God, that irritated me so bad. It's like, why?
I have it in my head now. As soon as you were describing and see how upset you were, I knew exactly where it was going too. I was like, and I feel like tone wise, it's so similar.
I like the creepy tone, this very serious tone. And when I was watching it, because I just watched it again a couple of days ago, I just revisited just for a second time through, and I was like, that sounds pretty good, but what has it reminded me of? So I was doing what I always do. I look up like the trivia and the what did you know shit, and then I came across that, and I immediately just fucking like whatever. I stopped reading about it because that's
like I'm done.
I'm done now. And if nobody, if anybody out there has no idea what I'm talking about with the whole Star Wars bit, we talked about it last time. I'm not a Star Wars guy at all. Travis 100% is. He has tried so hard to get me to convert, and it has not worked. My willpower is strong. I just can't do it. But Travis, I did try. I did try, and I just could not get. If I hear one more fucking nerd going boom, 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 it kills me. It absolutely goes right through me. So anyway, getting back to it. All right, so yours was a Star Wars game. So what was it? Was it not fun enough? Was the story just kind of blah, or was there no story, or what was it?
Yeah, there was a story. So it's like, you're either playing as the rebels or the Imperials, and you're kind of going back and forth in the story. And I don't know, it's just like, it didn't catch me. I think the idea of flying a spaceship around's cool for a little bit. And then after a while, it's like, I got this. Like, I want to hop on a plane and go run around down there or something like that. So
is that the whole game, is just flying?
That, I mean, as much as I played, but it was
really,
and like I said, it was. I've never been big into just like the flying aspect of it. I like kind of the open world thing where you do a little bit of everything. So for me, it felt real limited. So,
and you got motion sickness, you said?
Well, yeah, and the problem was when I was playing it too, I had my computer hooked up to a 65-inch TV, so that might have also been part of it. So,
I've never gotten motion sickness from a TV, but I did put a lot of time into PlayStation VR, which for what it was fantastic. But I got nauseous doing that. It just tricked my brain too much. Yeah. And it really sucks because I was excited that they came out with Skyrim for VR. And I'm like, oh my God, you can walk all around this gigantic map now. And I mean, I played 10, 15 minutes of it, and I started to get sick to my stomach. And it really sucks because I really enjoy it. And I read that for the people that get sick, it's because your eyes are sending a signal to your brain, but your body itself isn't experiencing what your eyes are seeing. And for some people, I think I read that it gets them sick. Because your body's not moving around, the fucking, like the fluid in your ears for your equilibrium and everything like that. Oh, yeah. That's not coming into play at all. But yet visually, you think like you're fucking either, riding on horseback somewhere or, but your body's not feeling that motion. So for me, I don't know. That might be a deal breaker with the new PlayStation VR that comes out because I just get sick. And Skyrim was not inexpensive when it first came out, and I was really psyched about that. And I physically couldn't play it. So yours was it was called what? Star Wars what?
Squadrons.
Squadron. That fucking nerd shit. Okay. Star Wars Squadron. Golly. Oh, yeah. Okay. Another game. So one of mine. Jesus, now I'm blanking because for a second Tenet actually came in my mind. I was like, there's a part of the movie I was thinking about right now, and I got too focused on that. For me, okay, I'm probably gonna get a bunch of hate from this one because this game has a huge following, and I had never played it before. But then I believe it was like a remaster or something came out for PS4, so I gave it a shot because. My God, you get to play as Donald Duck, and I love Donald Duck, is Kingdom Hearts.
Oh.
I played 20 minutes of it, and here's the thing, Travis. The first 20 minutes of it is the opening cinematic. I didn't even actually start the gameplay. So the opening cinematic is between, if I remember correctly, it was like these two dudes, and I swear to you, the dialogue made absolutely no fucking sense whatsoever. I had no idea what they were talking about. I had no idea what was going on. It almost looked like, and I believe this is a remake of the very first Kingdom Hearts, but it very much felt like you had to play another like 8 games before this one to understand what the hell these two guys are talking about. But no, this is the very first game. So this is the introduction to Kingdom Hearts. And at the end of the cinematic, I was so completely just fuck it. Dude, that was the highest possible bonkers rating I could have given it, which is the 5 out of 5. Because I had no idea what the hell anybody was talking about. And that was a complete turnoff for me, because I do like story too. And since I can't follow the story, it was like me trying to read a fucking, a book in another language. I had no idea what these people were talking about. I turned it off after that. I didn't even actually start the gameplay. I didn't even start it.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I couldn't do it. And I waited almost a year for that, because a lot of the PlayStation stuff doesn't go on sale very, very often, especially some of the really big names. And I had it on my wish list for almost a year, and it finally went on sale. I'm like, yes, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to join the nerds in loving this franchise. And I just couldn't. And I never even got to play as Donald Duck, and that bums me out. But
that's the only thing you wanted.
That's the only thing I wanted to do was be Donald. If he can even be Donald. I don't even know if he's a playable character, but I know he's in it. And he looks fucking adorable. So, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts, that was one for me. I spent my money. I gave it 20 minutes. And it didn't really pan out. And that was, God, dude, 3 years ago.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So, what about you? Another one.
I'm looking actually through my Steam list right now to see what else I've got. And I think that's like, I mean, the problem I've got now is availability. Like I got Skyrim. I bought it. It was on sale. There's no way I'm gonna have time to play Skyrim.
You never played it?
No.
Holy shit.
Dude, I avoided playing any of those big open world games just because of how much time I know how I get with those. I want to go to the corner of the map and see what's up in that corner of the map.
Yeah.
And I know I'll just get totally just sucked into those games. So,
listen, I don't want to put you off, but I must have played when I still had my 360. I played months of it at a time, and I didn't even get close to beating it. Because there are the missions, there's the side missions, and the sub missions to the side missions, and the sub missions to those side missions. It's insane. You'll find yourself just doing shit to get the money, the currency to buy shit and level up and all that stuff. The map is so gigantic. It's unbelievable, but it's such a good game. It's one of my favorite open world games for sure. And I mean, they ported it to Nintendo. They ported it, to the PlayStation VR. So I mean, they're still working on it, and it's a very old game. That tells you right there, it stood the test of time.
Yeah. Do you level up for jumping? Like is that a way that you level up, or am I thinking of a different game?
Jumping? I don't think that jumping is a thing. No.
The reason I mentioned it is because I remember back when we had a 360, my brother left. Maybe it was the previous Elder Scrolls game. I was like, why is this game still on? He's not here. And then I turned the TV on, and it's like the dude's just jumping. So he's trying to level up, and he's just got like this book sitting on the A button so he can jump. So
I don't remember that being a thing. Like the more you jump, the more you get.
It was like you get like XP or something like that. I don't remember, but
I have no fucking idea. I have no clue, dude.
I don't know.
He should have done that one for Dying Light, because the more you do shit there, you get all those points and everything for agility.
Yeah.
But no, I don't remember Skyrim. I have no idea. All right, your turn.
Oh, that was no. You're up next. You tell me.
Oh, you didn't even give it a shot though.
Oh, Skyrim. I've got it. I'm not going to play it. It's not even a matter of me playing a game that I and then not giving it a shot. It's more of having a game in my library that I know I won't play for a very, very long time.
So you actually spent the money and you'd even fire the damn thing up.
No.
Oh, okay. But it's there
constantly
in case,
updated though. Constantly updated.
It's there in case, the day you get shit canned and you're single, and all that, and you have much more time. But until then, it's just going to gather dust in the library. Okay.
That's it. Yeah. Or the kids are at school or something. Yeah.
At Skyrim, it is 100% a single person's game.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah. You cannot play Skyrim and expect your spouse to still want to be married to you. You just cannot. It's another commitment. All right. So another one for me. This is a very hyped up one. It was expensive. Picked it up, despite all the problems that it had. Was Cyberpunk. And I love Cyberpunk themed games. Cyberpunk themed anything. So I picked it up. It looks fantastic. But there were so many bugs with it that... So here's what happened. I picked it up for PlayStation, and I'm telling you, you spent like 10, 15 minutes at first customizing your character. There's so much shit to do to customize your character. And I'm very indecisive, so I don't know if I'm going to be a hot chick or a really badass dude. And it's always a struggle, But it depends on how attractive I can make this chick or the dude, right? And if they're all ugly, then I just don't care. I'll just, make like a fucking, a dwarf looking thing, a troll or looking real ugly motherfucker. But no, I spent a lot of time doing the characters, customizing it and that kind of shit. And then there's the opening deal that you do, opening missions. And so I played like 30 minutes of it at first, and then I turned it off and I came back to it, and the game save is corrupt. I was like, what the fuck? So they did you dirty. I was like, God damn it, I did it again. Okay. I went through the whole rigmarole. I created my character. I've played through the first missions until you reach like the first like save point. Dude, I'll be damned. It did it again. Like, and I wanted to test it. So I waited till it said that, it was saved. I closed the game. I quit the game. I restarted it. And it still says the damn game save file was corrupt. At this point, I was like, fuck this and fuck you, So that was on PS4. So I didn't do anything with it since. Got a PS5. I tried it again, and it actually saves this time. So it must have been the corrupt file on PS4. But when I finally got into it, my God, the controls are so complicated. In my opinion, the controls are so complicated. As far as I couldn't even when I turned the game off, I couldn't even remember what button I used to like pick shit up, like ammo or items, that kind of shit. Combat was a nightmare, sneaking up on people and, like fucking karate chopping them and knocking them out and shit and hiding the body or whatever it is. It was so overly complicated that by the time I got to my first actual fight where people were shooting at me and everything, I fucking died like 18 times. And that was just an absolute just turn off for me. And so I probably have invested maybe an hour total into the game.
Oh man.
Didn't really pan out for me. But I do enjoy going on YouTube and watching some of the videos that they upload about the bugs. Have you ever seen those? Oh
yeah, there's some dude walks into a building, he just falls.
Oh my God, dude!
They didn't finish rendering the building.
It's hysterical. There's some people that are naked. That I watched one where this person fucking standing on top of a motorcycle while it's moving, with their arms out, fucking naked. It was awesome. Or a car will like spawn like in midair or half of it into a building or some shit. Some of those bugs are absolutely hilarious, and I had more fun actually watching the YouTube videos on those than I did playing the fucking thing. And it's surprising that there were that many issues with it, considering it was what's is it Project Red? Yeah, who did the Witcher games? Yeah. So this is not their first rodeo. Mm-hmm. This is not their second rodeo, whatever. I'm sure it's a great game, but it didn't really wow me as much as the videos on YouTube wowed me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that's my next one that I had was Cyberpunk. What about you?
See, there's one I want to talk about that you mentioned before we started. It's Grand Theft Auto,
Mm,
because I feel like
okay.
that one. So that's another wonderful open world one where it's like you can just do whatever you want. Like you can drive. I remember just driving the car up to the hills and then just seeing how far I could drive off the cliff and just floating around.
And then you played. Did you play 5?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
latest one that they still
Yeah.
make shit for? That's like just a gigantic game anymore. I played it for the first time over at my father-in-law over at Doug's. He had
Hmm.
some friends over. We all got on a machine
Oh,
in
that's the way
his
to do it.
arcade, and we did it. And I just didn't. I just can't get into it. I think the first Grand Theft Auto game came out for PlayStation 1, right? The first PlayStation,
Hmm.
I believe, or was it 2?
Oh, dude, I feel like it had to be one.
I think it was 1. And an open world game was such a foreign concept at the time. So when that came out, that was just awesome.
Hmm.
And it was the most simplistic thing, compared to today's games. You just hop in the car and you beat somebody's ass, take their car and leave. But I try to give 5 a shot, and it's just the same old shit. It's just kind of boring. If I want to watch somebody have, remember how they always mapped, like they always gauged how much trouble you're in with
Hmm.
the badges. If I want to watch somebody that has 1,000 police officers running after them and trying to get away from it, I'll just watch the intro to The Dark Knight Rises. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
that's just, I don't know. It's just not a thing. And I think you can fly shit in that, can't you? Like helicopters or something
Oh
like that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I just like, yeah, it's not my thing. It wasn't my thing. I couldn't get into. I'm sure it's a great game for those that like it, but for me, mm,
Yeah, I found a lot of joy playing online with other people because you just do dumb shit with these guys and you just like run around and just yeah, I mean there's an airport. You can break into the airport and you're immediately a 3 star. The cops are coming for you. You can steal a plane. It's just
you're
like
absolutely right. That's probably a really good game to play with buddies online, not necessarily by yourself. I wouldn't have fun playing by myself.
yeah.
And I don't even online game really, but I think you're right. That's a good point. I think it'd be much better with other people that
Hmm.
for sure.
I just looked it up real quick. The first Grand Theft Auto came out in '97 on PlayStation.
Wow,
Yeah.
we're fucking old. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh man.
How old are we? You just turned 39. I'll be 39 on the 1st of March.
Yeah, you're just
So
coming
yeah,
up. Wow.
39. So that's so yeah, my God, that makes us, yeah, we've known each other 34 years.
That's so
Jesus.
crazy.
But okay, yeah, Grand Theft Auto, that's a good one. That was one that I was going to bring up, but I'm glad you did because I wanted to see what your opinion on it was.
Oh, I just that was just such a silly game too, where it was just, and I thought it was pretty easy to kind of do the mission and kind of stick to the mission. But there's one thing that sticks out in my head too is I remember just swimming. I was like, I wonder what happens if you keep swimming, and then this noise pops up and a fucking shark eats you. It's like, wait,
Are you
what?
serious?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. Because
I didn't know that.
you see the fin off in the distance, and I'm like, oh, I gotta start swimming back. And then you look underwater, and the shark's right there. It's like, oh, good.
That's awesome. Is that for 5?
Yeah, yeah,
5. Oh, so you actually have 5.
yeah. Oh, yeah. See, I had it. I had it a while ago. I haven't played it in years.
Did you have it for Xbox?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I had
Or
it
did
for
you? Okay.
Xbox. Yeah. So.
Well, my next one, ironically enough, is actually one of my favorite games of all time. In my top 3 favorite games of all time, The Last of Us.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I know. Now, I have not done an episode on The Last of Us because, and this is weird, and I wonder if you'll agree or anybody listening would agree too. For things that I really, really want to praise, I also dread talking about it because I feel like I'm not going to do it justice. That I'm not going to say everything that I should say in the way that I should say it because it's so just awesome. I get nervous talking about it because I don't know. I get excited, and I just don't want to rush it. I don't want to miss anything. So I haven't even written an episode for The Last of Us because I don't think my hard drive has enough space for the fucking Word document that I would create in such a beautiful, perfect game. But the first time I played The Last of Us, it was actually my father-in-law. He said it was on his PlayStation 4 because it came out for PlayStation 3. And they that's, and I told you this before, a game's good when they remaster it twice, which they did. But the first remaster was for PlayStation 4. I hadn't heard of it before that. I was out of the PlayStation loop a long time ago. Before then, I hadn't heard of it. But he says, hey, they remastered a game called The Last of Us, which is, like a post-apocalyptic zombie fucking game. And, let's try it. And I hadn't been exposed to very heavy, really good story games before. And the way The Last of Us opens up almost exactly like the show does. The show is really good too, and you watch the show.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I've never played the game. I'm just watching the show, and now that watching the show, I'm like, oh, I need to play this game.
Yeah, the intro is much longer than the game, obviously, because they provide some more backstory to it. So basically, in the show, you see backstory of the fungus and that kind of stuff. But the game basically opens up. I don't want to ruin it for you. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it opens up very tragic because, as you know, Joel's daughter, Sarah, gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
And that scene, even through just motion capture. I mean, this isn't even Troy Baker who plays Joel in the game. I mean, you're not even seeing him. You're seeing a computer, generated, computer rendered person. But it's so emotional and so just fucking serious. The way the fungus, hits, the cordyceps hits, and everybody starts going crazy, and they're running, and people are just fucking going nuts, and his daughter ends up getting killed. And I remember that opening cinematic, it was so whoa, because then it cuts to the opening theme with the credits and all that stuff and the intro because you play like 20 minutes of the game before the actual intro comes in. Mm-hmm. And I remember my father-in-law and I were just, after that very emotional scene when his daughter dies and he's crying and everything like that, and then the theme music starts playing, we just looked at each other like, wow. That was like a fucking movie, Mm-hmm. It was movie quality writing and just top-notch acting. And because of that, I avoided the game for such a long time because I'm such a dopey softy. I'm serious. I'll admit that the right fucking greeting card might make me a little misty. I gotten a lot softer in my older age, but sometimes I avoid watching movies that has like really sad endings or something that, just because it just bums you out. That's the way it was for me. So I avoided the game for a long, long time. And then I don't remember why I picked it up again, decided to go through it again. Maybe I felt like, I don't know, I was a little tougher that day.
I got it. I can handle it.
I got this. I had some toughness going on that day, and I've probably played it 20 times through already.
Wow!
And I'm in the middle of playing it again, playing the new remaster, and it's a wonderful game. But at first, it didn't get me, not because it wasn't good, but because it was too good.
Mm.
It was too good, and I didn't want to go through a more that emotional intro again, because I knew that if I bought the game, because I played on his account, right? Mm. If I bought the game, I was gonna have to watch that fucking intro again, and it was not gonna be good, because the little girl dies, and it was just I can't do it. But I did it, and I'm glad that I did. One of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, it's a game I'm looking forward to coming out on Steam. It comes out in March too.
March,
so.
Yep. I'm glad you're that the first time you play it, it's this new remaster because it's very well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And I'll
just
be
hope.
curious. I'll be
What's that?
curious where the first season ends.
The first season covers the entirety of the first game.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's
Okay.
that's what I read. That the first season is the entirety of the first game. And so
Oh.
since season 2 is renewed, I'm assuming that's just going to cover the entirety of the second game. Maybe who knows if that'll be spread out, but
Oh.
over multiple seasons. But I do know that the first game is done during season 1,
Oh,
from
really?
what
Okay.
I've read. Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
But it's still worth playing, even though you watch there's a lot of differences in the game, between the game and the movie, but in a good way. But you can still play the game and nothing is really spoiled for you. It's still
Mm,
really good.
yeah.
So
Have you listened to the podcast that
no,
they're doing?
I haven't. It's because it's one of those things that I'm super excited about. That I have to I don't know what it is when you're super excited about something, but you're nervous to do it. I don't know. I'm fucking weird. But yeah, I think it's Troy Baker for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's Neil Druckmann
Yeah.
in it as well, but
Hmm.
I'm sure it has a lot of really good stuff. I can't wait to listen to it. But I was like, I'm nervous about it because I love it so much,
Yeah.
and I don't know. Maybe I suffer from a condition that only I'm only I know how to describe. I don't know why I'm like that, but because even when um, the show came out, it took me a little bit to watch it because I was
Mm,
nervous about watching it because I really really like it. So I don't know. I know I'm fucking weird, but it's your turn.
yeah. 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 But I see. I'm not done talking about that yet, though. But I was the same way
Oh,
watching
okay.
the show. I was nervous about watching it because of having kids. I feel like kids have made me very soft to like deep emotional stories. Like I remember watching uh 28 Weeks Later,
Hmm.
the
Is that a
Danny
sequel?
Boyle. Yeah, and that opening scene where that dude's running, like
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. There's no way I could watch that now. Like I'd be a nervous wreck.
I do agree. I've always been a bit of a softie, but yes, after you have a child, then I can't watch that kind of tragedy and despair,
Hmm.
especially after if it when it has to do with kids.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
like I remember watching just the opening to It,
Oh yeah.
the remake,
Yeah.
and that little boy that
Hmm.
gets his arm bitten off by, is it Pennywise the clown? Is that what it
Hmm.
is? The fucking
Yeah.
clown. I turned it off after that. I couldn't deal with it. I
Yeah.
absolutely just couldn't. No, when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially when there are kids involved, I can't do it, man.
Hmm.
It's just I don't have it in me. No, because you always see that kid as yours.
Oh
Like
yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah. I agree.
But yeah, so I mean, so when Joel's daughter gets killed,
Oh
it's a
yeah.
very emotional scene. They did a very good job in the TV show, but in the game, it's I think it's even more powerful. I just don't know what it
Mm.
is. I think it's because you only get to hear the actors doing it, and it's just as powerful as getting to hear and see the actors in the show. Because
Mm.
you're watching a computer generated person that's making you emotional through the voice of
Oh.
Troy Baker, and God, I cannot remember the actress that played his daughter in the game. That sucks. I'm very sorry about that. If you ever listen to me, like, oh my God, if these very important celebrity voice actors ever listen to this fucking nobody podcast, yeah, but fucking
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's a very powerful scene, very emotional scene, and I think it's even better in the game.
Mm.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
Man, it's again, I keep looking through my library, and what I can tell you is it's games that. So there's another one that I've got. So one of the first computer games I remember playing was Half-Life from Valve,
Okay.
and they had a Half-Life 2, and I remember when it came out, we couldn't play it on the computer we had growing up, so I never played it. So I ended up getting that one recently, and I played again. I probably played about an hour or two of it, and never really got far enough into the game. Yeah, I played exactly 2 hours. and it's just a game that I could never get back into. So again, I think it's just you get to that point too where it's like, all right, I got an hour. I want to play a game that I can hop into real quick, have a good time, and that was one that I could never get back into it. It's such a bummer.
Would you? So is it the sequel that you couldn't get into, or just the game, the whole like franchise?
No, it was
just.
I mean, it was just a sequel.
Just a sequel.
It was, and again, it was like it's just timing. If I did it, pre-kids, it's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'll just plow through this just to finish it. But when you've got an hour or two, it's like, I want to do something. I want to enjoy this time.
I've never played Half-Life or Half-Life 2, but I did buy them because they were on sale, and I knew that they were like big cult classics.
Yeah.
So I also have them. I did your Skyrim trick on that one. I bought it and I just put it away on the digital shelf.
Day.
Yes, for a rainy day. That's right.
Yeah.
So so Half-Life 2. Okay. Let's see. Let's see another one for me. Okay. I thought it took me. Oh, here's what. That's right. I was going to talk about this one. I completely forgot about it. So another one of my favorite games of all time that I can play over and over and over again. And I still love is Watch Dogs, the first one, and it took me 2 or 3 times to get into it because it's very Grand Theft Auto-esque. But with like hacker shit, but a really good story. Well, I really wanted to get into it because I like computer shit. It's in Chicago. It's set in Chicago, and they actually made the city look really, really good, really, really good. They couldn't do exact copies, of places, but you basically get to go down and walk around what is Navy Pier. You get to walk around Millennium Park. You go through the city, you see, like those big fucking weird sculptures and shit. Like there's that big red one downtown. I can't remember. It almost reminds you of a fucking robot or scorpion or whatever the hell it is. Mm-hmm. I always thought it was strange as a kid. Yeah, you get a bunch of places like that in it. So it's very well done for, when they couldn't do exact copies of other people's artwork. And obviously, you can't have, the bean. I think the bean is in it, but in its own way, it's not a bean. It's like another shape, but what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The water things by the bean, they have like the changing faces and shit.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of have that too. So it's kind of like, it's not, Chicago's the name brand. Chicago and Watch Dogs is like Walmart's Great Value Chicago, basically. it's the manager's special. Chicago, but it's extremely well done. I love the game. I can play it over and over again, but it's very much like Grand Theft Auto because you get to steal cars and fucking punch people in the face and shoot people and all that stuff. But it's got a really good story to it, a very, very good story. So it took me 2 or 3 times to get into it, but I gave it another shot because I knew it was a game I was gonna like. Like maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it at the time, but yeah, I think I've played Watch Dogs 5 or 6 times through now, and I just played it for the first time maybe a year ago.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I actually gave Watch Dogs 2 a little bit and Watch Dogs 3 a little taste, and as more advanced as they are from the first one, I mean. It's subjective, if you like it or if you think it's better or not. I mean, technically, yes, they did upgrade things, and obviously the graphics and shit are really good, but the mechanics are different. But
yeah,
I don't think it's an improvement for the first one. I like the first one. I mean, the first one's set in Chicago. The second one's set in, I think it's San Francisco, L.A. or San Francisco. I can't remember what it was, and then. The third one, I think, is like I think it's London or something like that. So a very different atmosphere, different characters, but I still like everything about the first one. Everything about the first one, very, very good. But it had to win me over on a few dates. It won me over. So So I'm very glad about that. It's one of my favorite games. All right, Tag, you're it.
So the thing that keeps coming in my head is games that I play and then walk away from for a long time and then come back to. And it's any of these open world. There's two games that I can specifically remember doing that with. Fallout New Vegas was one of them. It's the same thing too. It's like instead of doing the main mission, I get off on the main, the side mission where I got to go to that corner of the map way up there and see what's up there. And I just get bored. I'm like, this is done. And then I'll come back to it. The other one I did was Witcher. It was the same thing with Witcher.
Oh my God, you've been playing The Witcher for a long time.
Well, you just get to a point where it's like, all right, I got like an hour left of this game. Just go and just finish it. So the other one too, now thinking about it, was Dying Light. I did the same thing with Dying Light where I'm like, I'm gonna park over here to this corner. It's like just finish the game.
Yeah.
So I always get my the same thing too, where it's always like, oh, I need to do all these little individual missions, and then my mission list gets so long, and I'm like, oh, I got too much stuff to do. It sucks. So that's my thing with it too. But it's funny because for all of them, I get pulled back into it. So then I'm like, oh, this is fun. It's like, yeah, when you're not screwing around and go off to these random stupid things. It's like, yeah, just stick to the main mission. So
I have games like that for sure. Skyrim is one of them because it's such a gigantic game. Zelda Breath of the Wild is a massive game that you play them for so long and you don't really progress that much because you're doing everything else in the game that you kind of get a little burnout on it. And I have to give it a break, whether it be days, weeks, or months, and you go back to it and you got to learn all the controls and shit again. Just on a side note, if you haven't played the following yet in Dying Light 1, if you haven't even gotten that far, I'm going to completely take back and void the happy birthday I gave you a few days ago, okay? So I can't believe you have not gotten that far yet because it's a completely different experience from the core story. So I know I think I tongue lashed you about it before. I don't want to go into it too much, but I just want to remind you that I haven't forgotten.
And I'm pretty sure I have that DLC downloaded too.
The following?
I paid for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't, because I think I bought that when it was on sale. Yeah. Jesus. I don't. It was. Yeah.
Listen, if you have it, man, I'm gonna dip in my own pocket and get that for you because it's got to happen. You're gonna love it. You really will. You really will.
Yeah, driving the bungee car around the countryside.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. Okay, what else? I'm trying to think. Console games. It took me a little bit to get into Horizon Zero Dawn because that game is just weird. It looks very primal and primitive living, almost like these people are fucking, they're just, the people in the game kind of like living in like the, tribes and shit, and they wear furs and all that, but it's also very high tech at the same time, a huge contrast, which is explained in the movie or in the game and in the story, but it took a little bit because it's fairly difficult. And the controls are just bonkers crazy. They're not difficult. It's just there's just a lot to memorize. I guess that's a recurring thing with me. I guess if the controls are hard, there's like a lot to memorize. I think that's a turn off for me. There's some games that really push the limits on how many different button combinations can we come up with to do, to make the character do 40 different things, So I think with that difficulty, I think it kind of turns me off a little bit, and I tend to not stick with it. But I came back to it, and I finished it, and it's a very, very good game. So, in fact, I picked up the second one, which is Horizon Forbidden West, about a month ago, and I still haven't played it yet. But because
just in case.
Because it was on sale, and I got some PlayStation gift cards for Christmas, so I picked up when it was on sale. Now, God damn it, if only God of War Ragnarok would go on sale so I can use the rest of my stuff on it. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn for me was one that it took me a couple of tries to get into. You're it.
Yeah, I feel like
you nearing the end of your list?
I think so. Again, my problem isn't so much It's more of not having time to play. I think it's more
I
what mine
understand
is
that.
too.
I do understand. When do you get to play?
Oh man. Well, I played for the half an hour before we hopped on today, so that
Oh,
was
you did play for a little bit.
delightful. Yeah. So,
Um,
um,
it's tough.
mhm.
You got 2 kids. I have one. But yeah, I mean, Jesus, my commute every day is, a 2-hour round trip.
Mm,
I get home around 6. I have about an hour and a half before we start the bedtime routine, and that's
yeah.
an hour and a half to play with my son and eat dinner, and
Hmm.
and then he always wants to prolong the bedtime shit.
Oh yeah.
He's at that stage now where when 7:30 hits and we start the countdown for brushing your teeth and all that shit, because it takes him forever to just get in bed.
Oh yeah.
7:30 hits, all of a sudden he's hungry.
Oh, need bedtime snack.
7:30 hits, and all of a sudden he wants to clean, and I'm like, bullshit, son. You never want to clean.
Uh,
You what? You don't want to clean at any other. You only want to clean at 7:30 p.m. Monday through
uh-huh.
Friday, or and then he drags everything out. So he'll be on the couch. He'll be perfectly fine, dude. Perfectly fine. If I say, hey, do you want to go run around outside? He would do it. But
Hmm.
when I say, hey, pal, it's bedtime, all of a sudden he closes his eyes or he squints at me saying, oh, I'm just so tired, Daddy. Can you carry me? I'm like, boy, get your ass up, okay? And he squints at me like, and he points at his own face like, look, Daddy, look how tired I am. And he squints, and you just want to,
Oh yeah.
And so I got to carry his ass upstairs. He makes me change his clothes.
Oh
So
man.
I gotta change his clothes. I gotta put his jammies on while he just lays there like
He's so tired.
yeah, he's so
Couldn't
tired.
possibly move.
I'm just so tired, Daddy. We because he's learning brush his teeth really well and everything, so we switch off. One night I'll brush his teeth, and then the next night he does it himself. And last night was his turn, but of
Hmm.
course, because he's so tired, Daddy, he's like, can you brush my teeth for me? I'm like, you little shit.
He's like, yes. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, so the thing is, so by 7:30 is when we started, so by 9 o'clock he's usually asleep.
Oh man.
Yeah, so
Oh
it's
yeah.
that long every night, because
And you're tired after it.
exactly, and then I don't want to do anything,
Uh-huh.
but just lay down afterwards. Yeah, so because we brush our teeth, and then he wants to give mommy 48 kisses, and that's another thing too. 7:30 rolls around, then he wants to cuddle with mommy because he didn't get to during the
Oh.
day.
Uh-huh.
Now it's cuddle time. It's like, no, bullshit. You can
Mm-hmm.
cuddle your ass in bed because it's
Yep.
it's time. He wants we read a book every night, and I get after every 3 words of the book he has to ask me a question, whether it's about the book or unrelated. Like today we were reading a Berenstain Bears book, and I swear to God, every sentence that I read, he started asking me about old cars I used to drive. It's like, what cars did you used to have, Daddy? How many
He's
cars?
he's he's
Yeah,
hip to your shit. He knows. He knows. Oh, I'm gonna get him off topic. Watch this. I'm gonna ask about his
dude,
old cars.
dude. First off, he's like, Daddy, do you have old cars? And I said, yeah, I did. Then I continue reading the book. He's like, how many old cars do you have, Daddy? I was like, I had, I think 5 cars before, pal. And then I'm like, I'm fucking just, let's go. It's like 15 minutes.
Oh
I'm still on the
yeah.
same page. And then I read another sentence, maybe a sentence and a half. Then he's like, what were they, Daddy? And I got to fucking, and I said, one was a Chevy Lumina. He's like, what's Chevy? And
Oh
I'm like, it's
God.
short for Chevrolet. And then it's just, dude, he's like a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
You
You
start
click
on,
it.
yes, exactly. So come 4.5 hours later, he finally goes to sleep, and then I come down, and I barely have enough energy to change into my own pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually play in bed. I've come to like handheld games a lot. I always liked handheld games before, but I love handheld games a lot more now because it allows me, if I have any little moment in time, I can just fire it up real quick, whether it's on the
Yeah.
Steam Deck or the Switch. I play before bed for about 5 minutes before I end up falling asleep. I'm playing this game on the Switch right now called Hitchhiker, which is a really weird mystery kind of game. And I've been talking to this dude for about 3.5 weeks now, and I know the conversation isn't that long, but I keep falling asleep. As soon as you put me on my belly, dude, it's like all over. You know how they said, was it like fucking like urban myth thing? Like if you put a alligator on its back and you rub its tummy, it fucking falls asleep or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? The kids used to say that. You put me on my belly, dude, and if you have me read a book or play a game, I'm fucking out in 2.5 seconds. That's it. I can't read that way either because I'm on the same page for a month. You know how many times I started up a game where I opened the book up and I'm like, how did I get here? My brain retains nothing. So you're absolutely right, dude. There's no time to do anything anymore. I'm gonna have to start using days off at work just to stay home and play if I want to.
Oh yeah. I've got my parents here right now, and that's exactly how I've been able to play a little bit now. I've been doing more working from home stuff, and I've got more time because I'm not driving to and from work, but I'm just taking a little bit extra time off too, just to squeeze something in. So,
so I do get, usually on Fridays I play with my father-in-law. Not every Friday, but some Fridays I can do that. I go over to his place, and he has like a full arcade in his basement, and we either do some couch gaming or do we do some some races on the racers and play Forza or something like that. If I don't get that, if Lauren goes out with her friends, then I'm like, boom, Leo, let's go upstairs. It's bedtime. I try to get him, get going. Lauren's gonna be out. Son's gonna be asleep. I was like, dude, that's it. I'm gonna game all night long, right? And I'm gonna game all night long, like I'm 16 years old again.
Oh man.
By the time 11:30 hits, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. But here's what happens sometimes. And I know if Lauren ever listened to this, she'd get so fucking mad. She'd be like, oh, really? So there's some times, dude, when I'm so looking forward to it. I'm like, you're going on Saturday? Oh, cool, awesome. I hope you have a good time. But I know that's going to be a time where I get to stay up. I'm going to have myself a cup of coffee or a beer. I'm going to fucking play all these games, right? And then she
oh,
I ain't
not going out.
I'm gonna then that's the thing. And then she comes downstairs and she's like, well, the girls don't want to do anything tonight, so I'm gonna stay home. I'm like, that's awesome. I guess I am not playing anything tonight.
Oh yeah.
It's funny how that works out. But which is fine. We don't get to spend much time together anyway, but hey, sometimes you like having a little time to yourself, and sometimes it happens, sometimes the girls just don't want to go out, man.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, those are the only times I have big windows to play. Other than that, man, it's little pockets of time I can find whenever.
Yeah, and that's been the same thing with me too, and that's why a game like Skyrim, there's no way I'm going to pick it up for 30 minutes and be able to shut it off. It's like I'm going to want to keep going.
No, man, it'll take 30 minutes just to kind of get a grasp of what's like going on, Yeah, that's just it, man.
That's where we're at in life.
That's where we're at in life. I remember when I lived alone, didn't have to answer to shit, I would pick up a game, dude. I had my 360. I remember buying the Arkham games when they came out, when they were first, like bam, like baller, right? Dude, I'd work all week, and then I'd come home Friday. I wouldn't see the light of day till Monday morning. I just game all fucking weekend. I would stop to pee, to poop, and to eat, dude. Sometimes, and you know what? Sleep was also questionable. That was an option. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't required, because I just play days at a time.
Yeah.
Days at a time. But those days are over, son.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Over. I mean, it took how many weeks just for us to coordinate having this conversation right now? That's how crazy it is.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, there was always something. It was either you or me. It's like, I got to cancel, got to push it back. But it's okay. I mean, there's what, 7.5 billion people in the world. My 5 listeners, you know, are just you know, the 5 people out there. And no, you know what? I don't even think that I have 5 listeners, dude. I just have 5 people that download shit, and they just may be on like auto download.
It's saving their library.
Exactly, they're saving their library. They subscribed to this shit like a year ago, and you know, the downloads I get are just because like, oh hey, a new episode has dropped, so it auto downloads for those 5 individuals. But I don't know. That's another thing too. It's just recording itself is tough. It takes a lot of time and scheduling and stuff like that. And it's just like, how do these people that do these podcasts market themselves? Dude, they're always on Instagram. They're always on Instagram. They're always posting shit. And I'll tell you, the people who do podcasts and do streaming, like live streaming, how they can find the time during the week to do all of those things. They have to not be married, not have a job, and live off of like a fucking like a trust fund, because I don't know how that's possible, and not have any kids, because there's no way that I could possibly be able to do all that stuff.
No way.
Can't. And let's face it, who the fuck wants to watch me play something? You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Oh well, but at least we got to record today. At least we got something to talk about. It's very candid. This is actually a show that had no notes whatsoever. We decided what we were going to be talking about 10 minutes prior to hitting the record button.
Yep. So
after this episode drops, my 5 listeners will probably dwindle down to 3.
When you see the one guy from Illinois, it'll be me listening to us again. So
exactly. That's what pisses me off, is when I see an Illinois download and a Cincinnati download, because, you know, fuck it. I subscribe to my own podcast, man. You know, I listen to it on my drive to and from work to make sure it sounds okay. And I listen to it to make sure there's no screw ups. And there has been a couple of times when I listen to it and I noticed something that ended up being so terrible that I'm like driving, and all of a sudden I fucking lead foot it. I had to get to my computer so I can edit that clip and re-upload it. There was one episode that, I swear to you, dude, there was like a minute and a half of just dead silence. And what I don't understand is that this episode had a lot of downloads before. I'm like, all these people listen to this horseshit edited episode that I missed this complete dead air. How did I not see it in Audacity in like the fucking waveform? It was like a flat line, you know? And I had no idea how I missed that.
It's driving you nuts the whole time you're listening.
Oh, it was driving me nuts, dude. I pedal to the metal all the way home so I can go home and edit it, snip that little thing out, splice it together, and fucking correct it. So I almost wanted to put out a message on Instagram. It's like, redo, please. No, you can download that episode now.
Refresh your browser, please.
Exactly.
Yeah, whoops.
Fucking novice. But yeah. So I mean, it's always fun chatting and bullshitting. It's not something we get to do, and I like the fact that we do it on camera now, because, you know, we live far away, so at least I can see that big beautiful face and beard of yours right there.
Yeah.
But Travis, I appreciate you wanting to record again. It's always fun.
Absolutely, man. It's always good shooting the shit.
Hell yes. How long have we been recording this right now?
I was just trying to figure that out. I can't tell from this one.
1 hour and 3 minutes.
Oh.
That's not bad, man.
No.
That's not bad. I don't really think there's going to be much editing to this. There's not anything that's really going to be edited out. This is just 2 old dads chit-chatting. This is going to be an absolute subscription killer. This episode.
For sure. Yep.
Thanks again, man. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you, everybody, for making it this 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 50 seconds in. Thank you very much. Stay safe, have fun, be good to each other, and hopefully we will get to talk to everyone next time. Later.
Take care.